Ladies and gentlemen, the king has been dethroned. Yes, the Los Angeles Lakers have been knocked out of the first round of the playoffs. The defending champions have been knocked out of the first round of the playoffs. Welcome back, guys, to yet another installment of your favorite basketball show on YouTube, Ball Don't Lie, with yours truly, Humphrey. And yeah, in this episode, we're going to talk about the demise of the defending champions, and also we'll take a look at the Clippers and the Mavericks series, which I really want to get into, and also we'll make our prediction for the second round of the playoffs. All the matchups have been set apart from one, which is the Utah Jazz versus either the Clippers or the Mavs, and we'll discuss that a little bit and see who the potential matchups will be. But first of all, yeah, like I was saying, the Lakers lost to the Phoenix Suns in 6, which was far away from my pick. I had the Lakers winning in 6, 5 even, but obviously with injuries to Anthony Davis and also LeBron James looking 36 years old with absolutely no help from his supporting cast, the Lakers limped into the playoffs, and unfortunately they have limped out of the playoffs. LeBron James had a perfect 14-0 first round playoff record, and unfortunately that has now been tarnished. He's now, he now has 14-1 on his record. And after watching this series, I kind of begged the question, is this the last time we see LeBron? Not in the playoffs, obviously he's going to be in the playoffs, but was last season the last time we ever see LeBron in the finals? Because literally LeBron will come up to you and say, I know a place, and then takes you to the NBA finals. But this time around, I don't see him getting back to the finals. Not with this supporting cast. And even if they get him a better supporting cast, he's not getting any younger, unfortunately. He's getting a little bit of grey in the beard and stuff like that. He's not getting any younger, and I feel like the new generation is here, and yeah, there's probably the best crop of young players we've had in the league for a very long time. Also, massive credit to the Phoenix Suns. They played their part really well, and Devin Booker, in the closeout game had 47 points, 8 or 10 from 3. That's how you close out a series. You know what I mean? All credit to him. He never really complained when he first came into the league. The Suns weren't really a great team like that, but he stuck around, and now he's reaping his benefits of being patient and staying. Now they've got a perfect playoff team around him, and now he's flourishing. Also, another big shout out to Cameron Payne, the backup point guard for the Suns. Since Chris Paul had that shoulder injury, he's come in and fit in seamlessly, creating offense for the team and scoring the ball. And he plays with so much hunger, and he kind of plays like he has nothing to lose, and I love that. I love that about him. But big shout out to him. Also, moving on to the Clippers versus the Mavericks. This series has been so weird in a way. Obviously, in my prediction video, I had the Mavs winning in 7, which kind of looks like a possibility as of right now. Last night, I watched the game where the Clippers beat the Mavs, and so to make the series 3-3, going back to Staples Center for Game 7, which this series no team has won their home game. So if that still stands, that means the Mavericks are gonna win in 7, which yeah, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see, because Kawhi, what he done last night, 45 points and 30 plus in the second half, absolutely insane. All of a sudden he turned into Michael Jordan. His mid-range shots, he was dunking on any and everybody. But this is, yeah, I did say he wasn't a superstar, but if he plays like this, I have to change my opinion. You know what I mean? I only go off, my opinion changes with new evidence, and from what he's showing me, yeah, he's showing out. He's showing out. But he has to, this won't mean anything if he doesn't replicate it back at home. He has to, be the superstar that most claim that he is in order for the Mavericks to advance. So we'll see how that goes. But let's start off quickly with the predictions. We'll start with the West, which we have the Nuggets versus the Suns. With this, the Nuggets have done really well with replacing Jamal Murray with Austin Rivers and also Aaron Gordon. They've come in and fit in seamlessly. They complement Jokic's game perfectly, and yeah, they're flourishing. Also, Michael Porter Jr. as well. He's come in and he's given them great production. he plays, you know, he's a player with so much confidence, so much promise. I can't wait to see how he does for the rest of his career. Also, I think DeAndre Ayton is going to have a much tougher series this time around, because obviously AD was, you know, less than 50%, so never really got, you know, challenged too much. But with Jokic, every center that they come up against him, they get cooked. Yeah, they get cooked. So we'll see how that materializes. But I will say the Nuggets in 6. I think Jokic will have a big series, and so will Devin Booker as well. But I think ultimately the Nuggets will beat them in 6. Obviously, I can't predict the Utah Jazz and you know, Clippers or Mavs series, but I think if the Mavs come out of that series, a quick hot take for you guys, I think if Doncic you know, comes out of that series against the Clippers, I think he would take him to the NBA Finals. As a 22-year-old superstar in the league, it kind of reminds me of a certain phenom back in 2007 that took his team to the NBA Finals. Although they got swept, but what LeBron James did for them in 2007 as a 22-year-old, I see a lot of that in Luka Doncic. And hot take, if he takes them past the Clippers, I think he would take them to the finals. But that's just let me know what you think in the comments about that. Could be completely wrong, but it's just something that dawned on me the other day. Also, we'll just move on to the Eastern Conference as well. I want to start off with the Philadelphia 76ers and also the Atlanta Hawks. This series, obviously with Embiid having that, you know, meniscus injury, hopefully it's not too serious, but I think he'll probably play half of the series. I think the Sixers are too big, too strong, and too good for the Hawks. Trae Young will have a big series. He'll probably get them a game or two, but ultimately I think the Sixers will win in 6. Yeah, Sixers in 6. Also, last but not least, the matchup I've been waiting for a long time. I was hoping we'd see this in the Eastern Conference Finals, but here we have it in the second round. I'll take that anyway, which is the Nets versus the Bucks. I think this series might be probably, on paper anyway, the best series we've had in the league for a decade or so. Because the matchups, the type of players they have, I think they cancel each other out so well. And hopefully it goes 7 games. I see Durant having a big series. I also see Giannis having a big series. He didn't have to do too much against the Heat. Unfortunately, the Heat have been such a disappointment. He didn't have to do too much, but this time around, they will call for the superstar, and Giannis has to show up. But I think ultimately, with everything being said, because I watched a couple highlights of the games that happened this season, which I got nothing from because, you know, the Bucks didn't have to play the Nets' big 3. So with Harden coming back into the lineup with, you know, Kyrie and also Durant, I think ultimately there'll be too much for them. The Nets have improved a little bit more defensively, but in my opinion, the reason why I think the Nets will beat the Bucks in 6 or 7, but I think the Nets will beat the Bucks in 6. I think if your star player does not have a consistent jump shot, like Giannis doesn't, there's only so far he can take you. He's won 2 MVPs without having a jump shot, but ultimately I don't think he can I don't think, you know, them leaving him wide open to take you know, mid-range shots and also 3-point shots, ultimately it won't be enough. I don't see his lack of outside shooting beating this Brooklyn Nets team, barring any injury, knock on wood, obviously. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think Nets in 6. Let me know your predictions in the comment section. Also, share this with your friends, like, comment. Like, I do want that activity in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think as well, and share this with your friends as well. You know, and join the wave. Let's have fun with this. You know, is getting to the business end of the playoffs, and I can't wait. I'm literally chomping at the bit. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and don't forget, like I said, to like, share, and subscribe. You guys have a great weekend, rest of your weekend. Y'all stay safe, and remember, ball don't lie, baby.